You may have seen a random pile like this one at the edge of a farm field and wondered what it was. It's beet lime, a byproduct of the sugar industry. In recent years, farmers have rediscovered a technique that was successfully used in the past to enhance productivity: liming the soil. Rick Loll and his family have been farming near Campbell for over 25 years.
We farm a little over 3,000 acres, and we raise sugar beets, corn, lots of corn, soybeans, and those are our three main crops. So we have a lot of fall work. The boys do some custom liming at this time of the year because we don't raise any wheat, and that works out quite well. My son's seen an opportunity to start spreading lime. We already had the equipment, so we have 3 spreader tucks and 1 payloader. I suppose on an average day we can get 300 plus acres done. It varies whether they're putting 5 ton or 10 ton on. The average is right in that 7.5 ton is what the average farmer is putting on. And then we have 2 live bottoms that we use in our sugar beet operation, and those 2 live bottoms we've been doing some custom hauling and hauling lime from the beet plant out to the fields for the farmers. So usually it takes at least 6 of us to keep all the wheels turning and keep everything going. We probably start hauling lime around 1st of July, pile it on the wheat fields, pile it on the soybean fields, and get it ready so that when we arrive with the spreader trucks, it's ready to go. It keeps us pretty busy at the month of August, getting it all spread.
Rick became curious when he read about liming in an old book published over 100 years ago.
I inherited a book from my grandpa. This is the book. It's Soil Culture and Modern Farming Methods. It's at least 100 years old. A book from the John Deere Agronomy Department. And the John Deere Agronomy Department did an experiment on lime. They flood irrigated unlimed portion of ground, and it took 26 days and 19 hours for the water to go through the soil. And then they put 2% lime on the field, and it took 17 hours for the water to move through. Once I read that, I knew that, that was part of the missing link on our farm, is that we needed more lime to get that soil to open up so that the water and the air could move into the soil. I have pamphlets that go back to 1879 talking about liming your soils. I looked for articles on liming on the internet. This liming a soil, that was printed in 1940, and the Bradley's superphosphate, that was printed in 1883. And they both talk about increases in yield as you lime your soils. Anyhow, I've picked up roughly 12 of these old USDA bulletins talking about the benefits of lime. One of the things that some of the books say is that it will double your yield. We've had one case, we had split an 80. We limed 40 acres and 40 acres we didn't lime. And the 40 acres that we did lime, after 3 years, it had twice the soybean yield as the unlimed side of the field. And that's a good way to test it. Bradley's superphosphate of lime, they were talking about yields of 40 ton beet, 175 bushel an acre corn, and this was back in the 1880s. At that time, I suppose a big field maybe was 3 acres. It's not on the scale that we're farming, but still yet those are pretty incredible yields. If we could produce consistently year in and year out that 170 plus bushels of corn, we'd be pretty happy farmers.
So what other goodies do you have in your bag here?
Well, I think the interesting one is taking a look at this picture. Early on when we started liming, what we did is we went out and we actually pulled the plants and we took a picture of the plant. And the nodulation on the soybean plant was at least tenfold. It was just incredible. And as you can see, the one to my right is the limed soybean plant. It has more leaves, it has better color, it's a healthier plant, it has a thicker stem. It has much bigger root mass, and the nodulation is just incredible. The only difference is that we limed the one on the right versus the one on the left. The one on the left, you can see the high mag soils. The dirt is sticking to the root, typical of magnesium. Without oxygen in your soil, it's hard to get good nodulation. And that's one thing that the lime did. It opened up that soil and allowed the biological system to work and get the nodulation on the soil. On this particular field, there was a 7 bushel per acre yield increase just from the liming versus the unlimed. But you can see the difference in the health. The important thing is the calcium, and the calcium is needed by weight and volume more than any other nutrient in the soil. So whether it's the soil, whether it's an animal, whether it's a plant, or whether it's human life, we need our calcium. And that's what I feel is the secret. If you have enough calcium, it takes less fertilizer to produce a crop. It takes less horsepower to pull a plow. It oxidizes the soil. The benefits just go on by getting that calcium ratio to magnesium where it belongs.
Wow.
So this is pretty convincing evidence, or at least it was on our farm, that we knew we were on the right track and that we needed to continue to lime and lime more all the time. And we've got fields with over 30 ton of lime on, and all it does is makes them easier to work, increases our yield, and gives us good results, gives us good yields. Well, I think don't take my word for it. Get some lime, or do your homework, do the research. There's plenty of volumes out there. I love old bookstores or even antique shops or eBay, where I can pick up old articles on lime and just further document what I already